Any question you would like to ask?
Naraswami Master, I want to ask you about the military time. In a few weeks I have to go to Greek military, and there it is forbidden to read any books or listen tapes or something like this. What you will... can you tell me something to do, one advice?
Well, you can take any number of tapes, you can hear them, you can read any book whenever you get time.
In the military it is forbidden?
Yes, in your military training, you have plenty of time. Here and there.
I feel that the time who I am working or who I'm not doing anything, it's lost time. Is there really no kind of preparation for meditation? Because in one book or two books you are suggest the people to repeat any name of God they want and concentrate at the darkness in their eyes.
No, brother, you see that reading books is nothing but preparation. To understand the philosophy, to get convinced, is a very good preparation.
Thank you, Master, for everything, and I feel very painful, and I hope to see you as soon as possible again in your physical body.
Most welcome.
Because I am not ready to see you anywhere else, and I also am not very sensitive to feel you if I am very far away from your physical body.
Most welcome, most welcome.
Thank you, Master Radha-swami.
Maharaji, hemos venido a verte con las manos vacías.
Maharaji, I'm translating for your disciple in Spain. He says he has come to see you empty-handed.
Y una mente llena de pecados.
And with a mind full of sins.
No hemos podido ofrecerte nada digno.
We have not been able to offer you anything of any value or worth.
Permíteme, por favor, que en nombre del Grupo Español
Please allow me to put before you, on behalf of the Spanish group,
te dé las gracias
our gratefulness
por haber cambiado nuestras vidas,
for having touched and changed our lives,
por haberlas llenado de luz y esperanza,
for having filled us with life and hope.
No tenemos más refugio que tus pies benditos.
We truly have no other place but your holy feet.
Solo tú puedes concedernos el regalo del amor.
Only you can grant us the gift of love.
Solo tú puedes ayudarnos interiormente a cumplir con la meditación.
Only you can help us internally to fulfill our duty of meditation.
Gracias, Maharaji.
Thank you, Maharaji,
por tu bondad,
for your infinite kindness,
por tu generosidad,
your generosity,
y por tu misericordia.
and your grace.
Gracias, Maharaji.
Thank you, Master.
Brother, we are all struggling souls. We all look to one, the Lord, for His mercy, for His grace, for His kindness, for His love. And He is always there to help us. We should do our best and leave everything to Him. He is more anxious to pull us now, once He has sown that seed of love within every one of us. So we should not worry unnecessarily. We should leave everything to Him and just do our duty which He has allotted to us of meditation.
Thank you.
Maharaji, very often you tell us that we should go through our karmas cheerfully and smilingly, and then you say, without losing your balance. And I was wondering, is there such a thing, an absolute balance, or is this a relative thing? What do you mean when you say balance?
Sister, it's always a relative. Everything in this world is relative. You see, for example, if one becomes sick, sickness can come to anybody. Anybody can have one's destiny to become sick. Then one should try to look to him for his grace. He has given so many people to look after us. We have hospital facilities. We have so many good relations for their good wishes. So many other facilities to go through their sickness. People are so many, we have lovers and beloveds to feel concerned about our sickness. And when we look to the other people rotting on the road, they are also suffering from the same disease, same sickness. Nobody is there to bother about them. Nobody is there to ask anything even. Nobody even knows that they are suffering. They are also going through the same sickness. We are also going through the same sickness. So we should always thank to the Lord. If we have to become sick, at least He has given us so much to go through that sickness as compared to other people. This is without losing our balance. We should, at every step, we should be grateful to the Lord. I have met an accident, at least I have been immediately taken care of. I get an ambulance, I get in a hospital, I get a doctor, I get a nurse, I get a good surgeon. So many people to look after me. And I got so many facilities after the accident, which other people are deprived of in this whole creation. When you look at them, then you realize His grace. If I have to met with an accident, at least His grace is there in many ways to look after me. So we have reason to be thankful to Him. Even in that situation we should be grateful to Him. So these are all things that are comparative.
Okay. I have another question. This isn't, I'm not sure it's a question, it may be a request. I've been initiated for 16 years, and I know the value of regularity and punctuality in meditation. But I would say in the 16 years, I maybe 10 times have actually sat down and meditated for 2.5 hours at one time. I'll do it for 3 days, and then suddenly I wake up at 1 o'clock in the morning and meditate for an hour, go back to sleep, wake up at 5, meditate for half an hour, and then all day long I'm meditating 15 minutes here, 10 minutes there, but never just sitting. And I can't see how, at this rate, I'll ever be able to withdraw my consciousness to my ankle even, because I can't seem to sit still for 2.5 hours at one time.
Sister, just do your best. Do your best.
I got one more question.
Yes.
Okay, this is about ego. Lately, I've been noticing more and more that I have an ego. It isn't that I'm proud of anything, because there's nothing to be proud of, but that ego is always there. And I'm just wondering, what use is it?
Well, sister, ego is not only the pride, it's also the attachment. We are always proud of our attachments. Ego is a very wide term. Ego means attachment to the object and faces of this creation.
Will it ever go away until, or is this something that happens after the third region also? Can you take it away? I guess I'm asking you to intercede with the Lord.
The Lord is there. He will help us, definitely.
Thank you.
That is why Christ said, if you are attached to your mother and father more than me, you are not worthy of me. That is what He wanted to impress upon us. He said, unless you become worthy of me, you cannot become worthy of the Father. Because you have to come unto me. And along with me, then you have to come unto the Father. So if you are attached more to the worldly relation How you can come unto me? And unless you become me, you cannot become the Father. That is eliminating attachments from this creation. And that is why he said, I have come to set mother against the daughter, father against the son, and so relations, you see. Not that he wants them to quarrel and fight. He wants them to detach from each other. Because these attachments are pulling us back to this creation. And only attachment can create detachment in us. There's no other way to detach from the worldly faces, worldly objects. Only attachment can create. So unless the attachment is so strong, these worldly attachments don't fade away at all. Only that strong attachment helps us to fade away these worldly attachments. Anyway, we have to do our best, don't worry.
Maestro, gracias de todo.
Master, he wants to thank you for everything you've given him.
Y quisiera hacer una pregunta que es quizá de curiosidad mía.
He wants to pose a question to you out of curiosity.
Yes, please, most welcome.
Cuando yo hago el mayor esfuerzo para concentrarme en tu frente,
when I try to concentrate on you in my forehead,
de cuando en cuando veo alrededor de tu cabeza una luz amarilla dorada, muy intensa y agradable.
Every now and then I see a golden light around your face, quite strongly.
Quisiera saber si es normal o si es una ilusión óptica.
Well, the curious question is whether this may be normal happening, or could it be just a product of his mind?
Sister, mind doesn't disturb us here in Dhyan. It is generally some people do feel, do see, but still mind can deceive us. But the best way is to keep your mind in Simran at that time. If while doing Simran, he still sees that light and the face, then it is the reality. Simran is the best test for him.
Master, could I translate now?
Yes, please.
Dice que la mente a veces puede jugar este tipo de trucos, pero que la mejor prueba es hacer Simran, y que si la luz continúa ahí, que entonces es para tu bien.
Justamente yo mientras miraba tu cara me repetía si tenía que hacer Simran o no, pero siempre he tratado en lo posible de repetir Simran.
He says, in fact, he was wondering that, and indeed has been doing Simran, but this was something he had in mind.
Nothing deceptive can stand before Simran.
Uh-huh. El maestro dice que nada que puede engañar se puede interponer ante el Simran, ante la repetición. Thank you, Master.
Master, please forgive me to ask this question again that I asked earlier, but it still isn't clear in my mind what is meant by do your best in meditation, I find that when I get up for meditation, I may have been unconcentrated for most of the time, and I may still have gotten up in the morning at the right time and sat for the right amount of time. And after meditation, on one hand, I tell myself, well, I have tried, and I possibly have done my best. But then 2 seconds later, I tell myself, well, I wasn't in the eye center for 2.5 hours, so I didn't really do my best. How do I know where my best begins?
Only you can know how much best you have given to meditation. You see, it depends upon the individual circumstances and environments. A person is sick, ill. He is doing his best to give his some time to meditation. He has put his best effort to sit 1 hour, half an hour. He has done his best. So it depends upon the person's individual circumstances. One person has lot of free time to give. So he gives his time 2.5 hours definitely, and honestly trying to concentrate. How much he has been able to do it, then he should leave it to the Lord. But he has done his best. He has given the proper time, he is trying to do his best to concentrate, but still if the mind is running, he can say he has done his best. Only one can only know whether I have done my best or not.
So if I understand it correctly, it is really a matter of learning to be honest with oneself.
That's right. We have to live with ourselves. We can't deceive our own self.
Then, Master, I have a second question that has been on my mind for many months. And in the past, I have seen several satsangis go astray from the path. And some have come back, some are having more difficulty. And it's a little bit of a fear inside of me that some people say, well, it's their karma. They will eventually come back, of course. If it really is karma, it must be the worst karma there is, because we would miss meditation.
Well, brother, they are just trying to justify their weaknesses, nothing else.
So it really depends only on one's weaknesses.
That's all. They get lured by their weaknesses, mostly by lust. They go astray, they mix too much. But still Santmat seed is there, Santmat pull is there. They realize their folly, then they come back again.
Thank you very much, Master.
Well, Swami Maharaji. In the West, it's a relation between, the key to Satmat seems to be this relationship between this disciple and the guru. And because of the principle, this law of karma, you being a lawyer in the past, know how particular that can be. Could you speak to us about the responsibilities satsangis have to their guru and the guru has to the satsangis? Or speak about this relationship between the master and disciple?
In the relationship of love and obedience. Now you can expand as much as you want. Obedience word is not also essential, because in love automatically obedience comes. When you love somebody, you always like to do which pleases the other person. You never like to do anything which doesn't please the other person. There is only a relationship of love.
Thank you, Maharaj.
Well, Christ says, you have come unto me and I have come unto you. What is that? Nothing but love. From two we have become one.
Maharaji, my husband is not a satsangi, and I have 2 children, one of which is a pure vegetarian. Since birth, he is repulsed by meat or fish, whatever. My husband is mostly vegetarian. Every once in a while, when we go out to dinner, he will order fish. And my daughter asks for a bite, or my husband likes to offer her a bite. And we have conflict in the family about this. Can you tell me what to do?
Sister, we have discussed so many times. You are satsangi, you are not supposed to eat meat. The rest is entirely choice of the family, what they want to do.
Maharaji, can we still have a silent darshan as you give it the Indians?
Pardon?
Can we have silent darshan as you hold it with the Indians?
When, sister? Where, sister?
No.
We are having it here?
But we speak. Silent, I mean silent.
Well, you can keep silent. I don't mind. Huh? You may not speak. Why put the ban on others? You can be quiet. Why ask the other to be quiet?
I would like to forget about this incident, Maharaji. I have here 2 photographs where you are with the great master, and they've been taken one after the other, just a few minutes apart. And there is a complete change of mood from one photograph to the other. I was wondering if you could recall what did the great master do or say to bring about that change of mood from one photograph to the other.
What shall I say after so many years, brother? What will I say?
Well, maybe you might know.
You see, which is the photograph? I can't see from such a distance. No, it's not a question of mood. These are family photographs, you see. This Mr. Mehta is still here. You can ask him. He has taken this photograph and he can explain you better. But somehow I am also here in it. Because I happen to be there.
Oh, yes.
So Mr. Mehta pushed me there also. This is our whole family. Maharajji's 2 sons and Maharajji's 2 grandsons and other children.
The first one is very stern, and the second one is very light.
You see, these photographers, they make you tense. You see, when they say 1, 2, 3, and there's a very old system of taking photographs. While taking photographs, they should never say 3 or 1 or 2. They should just make a little joke and click. And very few photographers know this trick. You see? So I am also one of the photographers, you see, though not a professional one. But when they say, ready, 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 you see, look straight, look this way, look that way, it definitely makes you tense.
I understand.
I have gone through that ordeal so many times, and I know it's very difficult to keep relaxed.
But then the great master must have said something in the second one, so that because it's so light there.
So he must have, must have relaxed by that time.
I see.
So it's very difficult to know what's going on in his mind, but these photographers are awful when they take the photograph, you see. But anyway, this is just great master's family. Thank you. And this is great master's father. He was in the army. Thank you very much.
Master, I would like to thank you for bringing me here. This is the first time that I'm in your physical presence. I would like to ask how being in the physical presence of the Master helps us develop. Could you explain this to us? And will this help us in our inner journey?
I think rather you are in a better position to say. Instead of my commenting on this question, It is for you to realize if there is at all any advantage of coming at all or not. You have to assess within yourself whether you have wasted your money and time and energy, or you have gained anything. It is for you to...
The question's more about how this will affect us on our inner journey. I've only been on the path a very short time, and obviously I haven't wasted my time. What I've got already has been well worth being here, and I thank you for that.
Well, brother, the main thing is attending to meditation. But for that, we need certain environments, certain atmosphere in which we can build our meditation. We are great help to each other to build that environment, to build that atmosphere in which we have to build our treasure in heaven. We all help each other. Sorry.
Swami, I wish to thank you for yesterday or the day before we had question and answers, and I was very troubled with a particular problem, and I wish to thank the people who came up to me afterwards with their support and love. You know who you are, and I really appreciate that. My question, we were speaking about attachment, and the only way to get away from that is to break it or to attach to something else. And I am very, very attached to my father. He's here tonight. I love him very much. And sometimes I fear that this love is going to hurt him or us when it's time for us to go. And I don't know how to cope with that. I love him, but by the same token, how do you let go of that attachment and still have the love?
Sister, our soul is the drop of that ocean. There is natural instinct and love in the soul to go back to its own origin. When we give a chance to that soul, towards its own origin, it starts growing inward, upward, towards its destination. Then we feel and experience that love for that Father. The more we experience, the more it grows. The more we love, the more it grows. And that love is within every one of us. He gives his own love. Who are we to love him? He has created that seed of love within every one of us. We only help each other, as I just told, to create that atmosphere and environment for that seed to grow. You see, the crop, when we sow it, it needs water, it needs chemicals, it needs looking after. But that seed has to grow in that ground, in that earth. But so many other things are required. The moisture, the chemical, the looking after, the weeds have to be pulled out. All these things go a long way for that seed to grow and grow to become the tree. But seed has to grow.
Is this like a preliminary to love my father, physical father, maybe to love you?
There's only one Father.
Yes, sir.
And those who create that love and devotion for that Father within us, we also like them. It's natural. Because they fill us with His love.
This is true.
So we also like them.
So then it won't hurt him that I'm so attached to him.
Yes. I wonder if you can help us. I got a question. I had a long time. Your definition of intuition, what is that?
Definition of intuition?
Intuition, yes.
Well, this is also a higher mind, a noble mind within us, which guides us at certain moments and saves us from certain situations, or guides us in certain situations.
To call it intentions is our own mind, higher mind, noble mind, pure mind. Call it consciousness. Thank you.
Master, in Great Master's hints on meditation, he says that if we don't experience bliss or see anything inside, it could be that we are not able to appreciate what we are seeing. Could you...
What did he say? What did the Great Master say?
He says if we don't experience bliss in bhajan or see anything inside, it could be that we don't appreciate what we are seeing or what is there.
But we are asking what is there?
I just would like you to try. He says that we don't, it could be that because we're not experiencing bliss or seeing anything in bhajan, it could be that the disciple is not appreciating what
the thing is that bliss and grace is always there at the eye center. But we don't experience it because we are not there. We are not there. Our mind is spread out in this creation. We have to pull and withdraw our mind to that focal point, within that zone, where we can experience and enjoy that bliss and His bliss.
Is our soul there, but our consciousness not?
Pardon?
Is our soul there, but our consciousness not? Or is our soul where our consciousness is?
What is the difference between soul and consciousness?
Could it be that a disciple, that our soul is beyond Trikuti or in Trikuti, for example, but we're unaware of that? Or we know it?
No, roots are there. Roots are there. But then we are spread out into this creation. We have to pull all the branches back to the roots before we can be there. The roots of the mind, from where the mind spreads, that's in Trikuti. But its branches are spread into the whole creation. So we have to pull those branches back to the roots, level of the root. Soul always is anxious to go back to the Father. Soul is not happy in this creation. Nothing holds soul in this creation. No matter how beautiful, how loving anything may be in this creation, soul, nothing can hold the soul here in this creation. It is the mind, which is attached to these faces and objects of the creation. Soul is just helpless under the mind. Needle is always a attractor towards the magnet. But if there is a weight over the needle, it just becomes helpless. The pull is between the needle for the magnet, but just helpless. That magnet, needle is not happy under the weight. And being under the weight, it feels the pull for the magnet. Similarly, our soul always has the pull for the creation, for the Creator. But it has a weight of the mind. So we have to withdraw the mind back to its root, back to its source. The soul automatically gets then released from the mind. This is where Christ said, "Go, ye shall become whole, sin no more, lest the worst thing can follow thee." You are in the process of becoming whole now, provided you don't add to your sins. But a worse thing can happen to the soul, back to this creation, to suffer the separation again. to remain condemned? That the worst thing can happen again to the soul. So after initiation he said, you can become whole now, provided you don't add more to your karmas. So we can make our soul whole, even get a release from stresses of the mind, provided we don't add more weight on the soul. Whatever weight is already there, it can be lessened by meditation. No matter how much rust it may be on the knife, if you go on rubbing on the sandstone, the rust will disappear, knife will shine. The shining nature of the knife doesn't come from anywhere outside, it was there. It's just covered by the rust. That is what our soul is.
May I ask another question? The book speaks a lot about when the mind becomes concentrated, the sabbath, or when the sabbath becomes audible and we become concentrated in that, it will be pulling. But there's nothing in the books to say what it feels like.
Feel like?
Yeah, when the sabbath is pulling, what is the sensation of that?
Well, sister, when the concentration is there, sabbath is always there. Sabbath is always pulling. I say magnet is always pulling. And when there is less weight on the needle, and it starts moving towards the magnet. So sabbath is always pulling the soul also. And soul is also feeling the separation from the sabbath and is anxious to go back to the sabbath. And the weight of the mind is there. But when, with the help of concentration, we bring our soul and mind within that zone from where it can be pulled inward and upward, then we feel that pull. Then we feel bliss, happiness, peace.
Can it be a physical sensation in the body?
You may not have physical sensation in the body. You may sometimes feel with the travel towards upwards. From the feet, as if something you are pulling, something is being pulled from your body upward. You may have that feeling also. But the main feeling is that bliss and peace and happiness which will feel within. And you may start seeing the light, flashes, light, colors. These are the things which happen to us when we feel the pull.
If one can feel that pull and then sometimes not feel it, or for a long time not feel it, is that because there's more rust on the knife again, or is it just because
mind comes and goes. Mind is not steady. Mind comes and goes, sometimes inward, sometimes outward. It runs out, it wants to get in, it runs out. That is the state of mind then. Sorry.
Maharaji, I'm asking this question on behalf of one of our group. And he says, when he came to see the Master for the first time, he was very excited, he was full of love, he was very happy. And he says, this time, he feels nothing, he's just blank, and he has no feeling of love or anything. And he's afraid now that his present condition might be the reason or the cause of his sliding back into his old habits, and he's worried about that before he was with the Sangi.
Sister, our problem is that we analyze ourselves too much. Whole day we are analyzing our feeling, our love, our emotions, and we have no scale by which we can weigh these emotions and these feelings. How do we know that now we have no love and then we have more love? By which scale we weigh them? Where is that scale? We too much analyze ourselves whole day. And the result is it will land nowhere. Fool is always there.
He doesn't have to worry about falling back into his old habits.
No, I don't think we should at all worry at all. We should attend to our meditation, and it's useless to analyze yourself too much.
Master, I've read in the books and heard other satsangs say that everything is karma, meaning that everything we experience and go through is a result of our past actions, and that there's nothing you can do except to go through it and wait until it is finished. And I believe that. And I have a bad habit that I wish very much to quit. And I want to know if I am copping out by believing that I will not be able to quit that bad habit until that particular karma is finished. Or that if I can use my willpower, as others tell me, to quit the habit any time. Which is it?
Sister, this interpretation, and nothing is in our hand, and all what we do is karma. This may be another way of justifying our weaknesses. I'm not trying to rise above them.
Well, if it's karma that you're doing a certain thing and you have to go through the karma, how can you rise above it?
You can. It is not absolute free will.
Sir?
It's not absolute free will. It's a conditioned free will. Limited free will.
Well, how limited is the limited?
That is not your hand. That you cannot know.
So what do I do? Keep walking?
What you should do that it is in your hand. Every karma is in your hand. You have to do your best, what is right. If you feel the weakness, you must realize it is a weakness, and I have to overcome it. Now you have to do best to overcome it. But in spite of all your best efforts and sincere efforts, it still happens. You can say it is not your hand, but still you may be wrong. You see, we at this stage cannot judge whether it is due to my previous karmas or whether it is due to my weakness. Just a justification to cover my weakness. So we always try to take shelter under these arguments.
It's a mess, isn't it? Thank you. I'll try harder.
When in a dream, I know you've had many questions along this line, but I hear different answers from the Satsangis that I speak to, so I figured the best way is to ask you, in a dream, if we see you, does it harm us or whatever if we tell someone about the dream? If we share the dream with someone, do we lose that ability to have another dream?
Well, sister, dream is a dream. It has no reality. Good dream is a good dream. Bad dream is a bad dream.
Right.
And what is there to share our dreams?
I'm sorry?
What is there to share our dreams with anybody?
What is there? Oh, but it's a view. It's exciting. It's uplifting, and you can share that with somebody.
Then digest that excitement within yourself. You don't share everything which excites you with the public.
And I thought they'd enjoy it. Okay, so we should keep that to ourselves. Second question, this is a little trivial, but I've often wondered, if we're walking along and we see a 50-cent laying on the ground, does that create karma for us if we pick that up? I know this is very trivial, but I had thought of it and I just was curious.
I'm not following your question.
If we find money laying on the street, for instance, and
some man laying on the street?
Money. I'll take either. I think No, but seriously, does it create karma or anything if we were...
But when it is not yours, right, how can you claim it to be yours?
That's what I was
You
wondering.
can give it to the police?
No, like if someone's dropped it, it's unattached, someone's not there. Someone has dropped it. We don't know who the owner is.
Then give it to the police to find out the owner.
That's let it go.
Then why should we try to justify that God has sent it to me? And then we say he has own ways and means to give us his blessings.
I'll pass up the quarter. I'll see what else comes.
Master?
Yes, please. Yes, please.
I want to ask you how we can tell where to draw the line.
How to?
How to tell where to draw the line. For example, one is proud to be a satsangi and doesn't want to deny the master to people. But on the other hand, if they are merely curious and their questions are insulting, you don't want to discuss the master with them. So how do I know where to draw the line that it pleases you?
Sister, it is everybody has his own problem. And you can't draw a line. You can't explain to everybody. Everybody has individual circumstances. And on an individual platform on which one has to take his own decision. So one has to consider oneself where he can, how much he can share, how much he has to conserve within himself. It's very difficult to tell anybody that this is the line which you cannot cross. The main thing in meditation is the foundation on which we have to build our meditation, which is explained to us at the time of initiation. We should not try to compromise with those basic principles of Santmat. And just it is our discretion. It depends upon our situations, how to deal with that.
Thank you.
Yes, someone has just asked me to read this question to you, Maharaji. A satsangi who could not attend the session, like it's going to burst, and so slow withdrawal stops. Because it gets caught with all this happening with the body, the same thing happens during bhajan. Through thy grace, one gets to see glimpses of light, flashing, and a feeble sound can be heard. But the body shaking and everything automatically stops the process and goes down. So how does one keep the attention at the focus and keep it there?
So there are 2-3 questions which you have asked, which we have to always keep it in mind. One thing, we should not synchronize Simran with breathing. Breathing is the normal function of the body. And we should never synchronize Simran with breathing. Another thing, when we are very anxious to make the progress, and soul is trying to, tendency of the soul is too much inside, inward and upward. But our Simran is not complete. Concentration is not complete. When body starts shaking and shivering. Because body can't take that pull at once. It needs very slowly and slowly withdrawal. So we can lean against some hard substance, we can sit in a comfortable chair and must have some support at the back. And if we feel too much pain in the body, there is no harm in insisting to sit in that posture. You can leave meditation, you can walk about 2-3 minutes in a room, and again you can sit in meditation. And never fight with your body to keep yourself in that particular posture if it is uncomfortable. if you feel the too much shaking up, you should better leave it and again sit. Slowly and slowly you'll be able to overcome it. It means the soul is very anxious to go up. And that process of Simran is yet to be complete. So we should give more attention to Simran rather than trying to hear the Shabad. And slowly it will disappear. It often happens with some people.
Sorry I have so many questions. I've been working on this for a while. Again, maybe semi-trivial, but when we go back to our jobs in the world outside, I really don't want to fall back into the pits that I was into before, gossiping for one. And I was wondering, for instance, here's an example. We have a new girl who's a secretary. I'm working with her, training her. She says, you know, who should I look out for? There's some people that are more honest than others, some people who are not to be trusted. Is it considered gossiping if I were to say, well, my experience with this person is they're not to be trusted, at least with my direct involvement with that person? Is that considered gossiping or slandering?
Well, you know the definition better of gossiping and slandering. A little innocent gossip is harmless.
I see. Because it's not meant to be.
Because humans do exchange words and comments without hurting anybody, without sitting on judgment on anybody. It's a human nature. As long as you don't mean to harm anybody, you don't mean to hurt anybody.
Thank you.
Maharaji, the meditation and the vegetarian diet makes us more open and receptive. But it seems to make us more open and receptive to our environment, to the feelings that everybody in my environment has. I can feel all their feelings, especially the anguish and the grief and the longing or the suffering. It makes me burn. How can I stop that?
You make yourself more clearer. You mean vegetarian you accept?
No, I think the meditation and the vegetarian diet causes a receptivity to one's environment.
What do you mean by environment?
The people in my environment, the way they feel, especially if they are suffering or having some anguish or depression, or it causes me to burn.
How are you concerned with their environments and all that? With your life?
Yes, but it seems to invade my life.
You see, you have to lead your own life. You are independent in other spheres of your life. And why can't you be independent in your own food, choice in your own food?
It's not the food, it's the feelings, the emotions of everybody.
You mean vegetarians have a different type of emotions?
No, I think that maybe it's got nothing to do with the vegetarian diet. I don't know. It's to do with receptivity. It's one thing to be receptive to the master, but it's not pleasant to be receptive to everybody.
You see, sister, vegetarianism is very, very essential for meditation. If on the one hand you are cleaning a cup, on the other hand again it becomes dirty, when are you going to put that milk in it, nectar in it? We are trying to clear our old karma by meditation, and we are adding more and more by killing. Well, what is the sense of meditation? At least we stop killing. At least we stop adding more to our karmas. We have to become vegetarian. There is no other choice with us. We want to escape. We must reduce the load of our karmas.
I'm not resisting vegetarianism. I don't know whether it's got anything to do with vegetarianism, but A satsangi wants to be receptive to the master. And I think that the meditation causes that or makes that happen. And the vegetarianism purifies us so that we are receptive to the master.
Definitely vegetarian pures our mind.
But if we are receptive to everybody else, if we can feel that, I can feel people's feelings.
By becoming vegetarian?
No, I don't know if it's the vegetarianism. It's just a feeling.
Right, ain't nothing to do. This is your own mind, which becomes receptive to everybody.
How can it stop that?
As just the other girl asked, you have to draw a line. You could draw your own line.
Thank you.
May I ask her, is it too late?
Please, please, please.
Father, I have a daughter who's asked me to live with her. And because my grandson could use a little help. She worked, you know. But I find that the fact that she is not vegetarian and that they eat a great deal of meat, you know, it's just enormous amounts, and it's just very, you know, some people are more meaty than others. But they're very, you know. I find myself, really, I don't want to let her down, but I feel guilty about this, and I need your guidance on it. I offered to live near her in an apartment and help with my grandson. And while I was here in October, she went out and bought a house, and when I got home, she said, "I bought us a house." And she wanted me to live in the house with her. You see, that's different. But now I feel guilty, because many times I feel guilty as a satsangi because I feel I'm so different from my family that I make them feel bad, you know. I don't want to fail in my duties.
Sister, everybody has individual karmas. Before you were on the path, you were doing the same thing.
Oh, I understand, but now it makes me sick.
I know.
I can't stand to be around it. It's repulsive. I don't have to live with her, do I?
You see?
It's funny, but it's not funny. It's kind of tragic, you know, because...
See, either you have to explain to them or you have to explain to yourself. To live with yourself.
I don't think I can live with meat. I mean, I don't want to be a prejudiced person, but it makes me sick. And it's extremely repulsive. It's the next thing to being a cannibal. But it is, Father. On the scale of evolution, where we start with eating plants, we come up, we eat plants, and some people eat insects, they eat fish, fowl. But the next thing is being a cannibal.
Sister,
and I can't do it.
Sister, it is only when the light comes into the darkness, then we realize how much insects are moving. Before that light, we were ignorant of what was moving around.
But now I know. And I can't seem to control it, Father. And I'm
rather than looking at them in a different way, just sympathize with them, lovingly try to explain them.
I do, but I don't have to live with them, do I? This is what I'm really worried about this. I really feel badly because you always say to do our duty, and I try to obey you as well as I can. And I feel, you know, even though she's 38 years old, I'm her mother. And this is my grandson. You know, they're not mine, but this is the game we play. But I can't do it. And I feel guilty, and I want you to get me off the hook. I'm laughing, but it's not funny.
Attend to your meditation and pray to the Lord. It will help you.
Thank you, Father. Can I say something else?
Please.
You know the girl right before this who was saying to you that when she gets close to people, she feels their emotions. I've experienced this for many years, and it's extremely painful. And, you know, sometimes when I'm talking to people, I know what they're thinking and feeling.
And if it's a negative thing, I can just feel the energy drain out of my body, and I can just get sick and weak, you know. So I understand that. Will the Simran would help with that woman? I mean, I can talk to people. It's really not funny. It's an extremely painful thing. Because the more you meditate and the longer that you're on this path.
Well, sister, you become more sympathetic, more kind, more understanding.
But the trouble is that then sometimes psychically, I don't know if that's the right word, you become so attuned to other people you almost become them easily. And then you experience
But we should not get possessed by them.
So what is our main protection against this?
We must control ourselves. We must help ourselves. Then we try to help others. We must have complete possession on ourselves, on our emotions, on our thoughts, on our actions. When having control on ourselves, then we try to deal with others.
I have come to the conclusion, Father, and I mean this very seriously, that the only way that is ever going to happen is because I beg from you, because I don't seem to have the power to do these things.
Sister, we have only one door to knock, and we are all knocking at the same door, so you can also knock there.